Hey everyone, it's Ankylosaur. I hope you're all doing well. Tonight, I decided I was going to try and do something a little different. And I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we'll all find out together. I have with me tonight Bobby Fine from the Sanctuary PDH. And while I usually talk strategy or break down tournaments in Pauper EDH, this time I just wanted to hype up a big upcoming PDH event hosted by Sanctuary. And Bobby here runs Sanctuary and is the tournament organizer for the Sanctuary Open Series. So I thought I'd have him on and we could talk a little bit about the tournament coming up. So how's it going, Bobby?
Going great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to, the fourth installment. It's weird to think it's been a year about since the first one. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in and talk some tournament details for Sanctuary 4. When's it going to be? What date? What time?
Yeah, so it's coming up on Saturday, March 16th. The player meeting intro stuff will start at 1 p.m. Eastern, and first round will start just a little bit after that. If you want to sign up, you can go to sanctuarypdh.com. It has all the links. I'm sure you'll put the links in, the description, everything. It's in the Discord server, all that. But yeah, the website has all the rules, has a breakdown of prizes and stuff, all that fun stuff we'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be held online in the Sanctuary PDH Discord, which I'll make sure to have a link to that in the video description. You also find it at sanctuarypdh.com. And as far as like nitty gritty about the tournament stuff, is 90-minute rounds correct?
Yeah, so quick lay of the land rules-wise. So 90-minute rounds. If you get to time, no extra turns, just whoever's turn it is ends at the end of that turn. Number of rounds are going to be based on attendance. So, we're at 15 people signed up right now. So we're looking at, probably the 4-round range. I would love to get to 5 rounds and have it be a monster tournament.
Yeah.
But so we're looking at four rounds with a cut to top 8 more than likely. But that all just varies based on attendance. We'll have commentary throughout the day and a live stream throughout the day of some of the rounds going on the Sanctuary PDH Twitch channel. Commentary is going to be from myself and then Brad from the PDH pod and Derek of the PDH rules committee. So, and we might get a stray Liam here and there since he'll be judging the event.
Yeah,
so,
those are some awesome people. They've done the commentary in the past. Always enjoyed talking with them as well. So really excited to have them on commentary.
Yeah, no Alcadron this time because he will be participating in the tournament. So
yes, definitely.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. And as far as legality, Paper and Moxfield OBS are going to be allowed this time, correct?
Yep. So you can use Moxfield with OBS. I mean, you can use another digital playtest platform with OBS if you wanted to. You can use Paper. There are some rules we have in place for how those setups need to look to minimize chances for funny business and just make sure things are clear for everyone and it's consistent. So those rules again are on the website. They're in the Discord server. If you have any questions, you can DM me or just post a message. Anyone in the server is probably able to help or point you to it if I'm not around. But just some rules to make sure we're consistent. But yeah, that way everyone can play. Don't want cost to be a factor. Don't want the access to cards to be a factor when we're playing Pauper Commander.
Absolutely. So. And speaking of cost, it's $16 to enter, but 15 of that per person is going straight into the prize pool. So
yeah, so I just want to make the prizes as big as I can. The only reason it's only 15 per person is because of pesky payment processing fees. So it's just whatever gets to me goes right back out into the tournament. So 40% of the total money that comes into the prize pool is going to first place, 20% each to second through fourth. If we end up in a situation where we're cutting to top 16, that changes a little bit, and that's all broken down again on the registration page where it lays out the different prize structures. And then the other cool part is if you are the winner, you get to work with me to make a custom token that will give out.
Yeah,
That will give out. Yeah, we give them out during FNMs. People who are members of the Patreon get a chunk of them. The winner would obviously get a chunk of them, their token. But yeah, it's really cool. I just kind of decided to do it last year retroactively for all the people who won, and people seem to really love it. So I think it's a cool way to, just incentivize. I mean, not that anyone needs incentive to win, but just like that much, it's like a cherry on top.
Yeah.
So
I hopefully, if I got the stream working correctly, I've got big photos of the tokens pulled up right now. You can see them. 2 of them from winners of Open Series 1 and 3 Gator Bait. Got that crocodile on there, the alligator, I suppose. And then Mini CJ has the Goblin token with Kedis. They both look, all 3 of them, they look fantastic. So, really excited. It's such a cool prize. Would really love to have an Ankylosaur token maybe someday.
Yeah, you gotta start.
I know.
You gotta start playing on ideas.
I gotta start playing better as well. But
well, only one person went, but
yeah.
you'll do fine.
Yeah. So that's all of that. I also wanted to talk briefly, speaking about the tokens and the decks that won. I just had a couple slides, just breakdowns of the decks that won the first 3 Open Series, just so we could maybe give people an idea of some of the decks they might expect to see at the tournament. So let me see if I can pull that up here. There's the tokens again. The first one that I want to talk about is Malcolm Kedis. And Malcolm Kedis, winner of the most recent Sanctuary event, that was Gator Bait's deck. And it's a combo deck. It's looking to assemble Malcolm plus an artifact pinger plus a type changer, and along the way generating some huge resource advantages with Kedis, and it can win very quickly. As we saw in the finals of Sanctuary 3, Gator took it down on turn 3. Yeah, so that's one of the decks. Do you expect people to be playing some Malcolm decks this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I always expect some flavor of Malcolm to show up, whether it's Malcolm Kedis, Malcolm Dargo, Malcolm Rograk, Malcolm Breaches, Malcolm Arden, which is a little different take compared to the other Malcolm Red ones. But yeah, I mean, like all of the Malcolm decks have the same end goal, which is comboing off, with Malcolm taking advantage of pirates and turning something else into a pirate that isn't normally a pirate.
Yeah.
To just make a bunch of treasures and win the game. So you'll see some. I don't know whether we'll see some more of the faster builds versus some of like the slower builds. But either way, I mean, if you're planning on playing in any like PDH tournament at all, whether it's the Sanctuary or in person, I would always be planning to run into a Malcolm deck or two.
For sure, definitely. The next one I wanted to talk about here was Abdel Adrian Blue. This was the winner of Sanctuary 1 and made top 4 in Sanctuary 3. So it's been putting up good results all across the series. It is another combo deck. It's looking to loop various Archaeomancer effects, things that get cards, instants, and sorceries back from your graveyard with Abdel plus some flicker spells. So you blink Abdel, you tuck away an Archaeomancer, you flicker Abdel, the Archaeomancer comes back, you can get the flicker back. Along the way, you're going to be making a whole bunch of soldier tokens to gum up the ground. I would say it's a little bit of a slower combo deck, but it's very consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it plays a ton of redundant pieces. Like, there's a billion flickers, there's a good chunk of recursion wizards, there's a ton of rocks. So, it has a lot of access to all of its pieces. It is slower. It takes, you have to get to 5 mana just to land Abdel, but you also need to have a recursion wizard in play first. So it takes a good chunk of turns to set up, but once it's going, it can get going pretty well. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I've seen it played a little bit more as of late. I wouldn't expect a ton of copies of this, personally, but I don't, who knows, right? But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one or two pop up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the last one, winner of Sanctuary number 2, Dargo Kedis. This is, I would say it's CPDH's best aggro deck. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's up there. I mean, it's the best at cleanly dealing with everyone at the same time, usually at least.
Yes.
So it doesn't get stuck in the I have to pick which person I want to 1v1 as often. So
Right, right. And that's not to say that other decks like, Gut Inspiring Leader, that they're not great aggro decks. This is the one that has a tournament win, which is something for it. And it also, with Kedis, can deal damage to the entire table all at once. You just need to get a big swing in with Dargo on somebody. Dargo can come down as early as turn 1 in this deck. And then, turn 1 Dargo, turn 2 Kedis, already the table's taken 21 damage. That's not a thing most of the other decks in the format can do. So
yeah, it solves the aggro. Well, it addresses the aggro problem by just killing everyone at the same time instead of having to pick and choose and get distracted. You just gotta kind of get to pick on whoever has the fewest blockers or the wimpiest blockers, and then everyone else is feeling the hurt too. So
yes, absolutely. A couple other decks I just wanted to mention that I would expect in some number at the tournament. Gretchen Titchwillow, another combo deck. I threw Satyr Enchanter on this list just because it has a top 4 finish, and
no, not picking favorites or anything.
not picking favorites, but I think if you're looking for something a little bit more mid-rangey, definitely has a Voltron style kill most of the time. Draws a lot of cards. Maybe Satyr Enchanter is something that somebody could pick up. And then Abdel, Agent of the Iron Throne, or Gut, Agent of the Iron Throne, two of the more grindier decks in the format, just looking to drain the table out when artifacts and creatures die. That's something that is also, Abdel Agent especially has seen some success in Sanctuary as well.
Yeah. I think the only other two that immediately popped, if you were to ask me, what a deck do you expect to see? I would add TPI on there. There's always some number of TPIs. Yep. Third Path Iconoclast showing up. Kind of doing the same thing as the Blue-Red Malcolm decks where it's just, lots of removal. It's not comboing necessarily. Some builds do. But just lots of interaction and then just building up an army of tokens to turn into damage. And then I'd probably expect to see a few Sir Conrad lists pop up, or one or two, just because it's been talked about so much lately, and a bunch of people have been playing it. Sir Conrad or Crypt Rats, both. People are trying to the mono black control thing right now, so I definitely expect to run into those in their very edict heavy game plan.
Yeah, for sure. Sir Conrad has had a little bit of a renaissance lately, where people have been revisiting it, rediscovering the different powerful things that commander can do. For sure. Well, that was all the breakdown I really wanted to talk about. I mostly just wanted to get the information out there that this is a tournament that's coming up, and I'm hyped for it. I'm extremely excited to play in it, and I want to see how many people we can get signed up. So there were 20, I believe, for Sanctuary 3. And like you said, there's already 15 signed up for Sanctuary 4. So if you're watching this video, and you have a free Saturday, I really hope to see you in the event. And if you like this sort of content, this short interview style, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to make some more announcement videos like this for other big PDH events in the future. So thank you so much for being on, Bobby. And I'm sure we'll talk before the tournament, but thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for being with me, Bobby. And that's all I've got.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So see you all next time. Goodbye.